So we are back with another Icarus update, week 141. And with this one, we've got a performance optimization with a change in the reinforced glass and some more stuff as well. I know we was all expecting the new expansion with the new operations, the new missions, but I will explain why that is. So they are currently working on changes in the null sector, which is the new part of the expansion. They're actually trying to do something different, but in a good way, uh, so that the experience are not seen before. These are experiences not seen before with Icarus. Some of the changes are a bit spicy, are doing a lot of rapid balance iterations at the moment. This includes overhauling the quest for a more narrative focus. The null sector will be released when the experience hits the mark it deserves. So there is a quite a big delay on that. I'm not sure when it's coming, but it will be coming soon. But we have got some optimization in this update, which we're going to go through, as well as some other changes. It's basically going to be like the what's it called? The project clinic thing. So it's basically a part three of the project clinic. So let's start off with the performance optimization to skeletal meshes. So all objects in Icarus use meshes. Some of these meshes include bones that can be moved to perform animations. These are called skeletal meshes, which makes sense. In this update, we're introducing an optimization on many skeletal meshes, so the frequency of when their animations are initiated is drastically reduced. We have achieved this by implementing certain limitations, one being that these updates occur less often, and the further they are from the player, the player. The other is that if the skeletal meshes are not visible, they will not play their animations at all, which should be a thing anyway, but hey ho. This reduces the amount of time your processor spends calculating animations, which in turn affects the frame rate from internal testing on a large prospect. This has caused a 75% reduction in CPU cost relating to skeletal mesh updates. And obviously, they say that we're going to expect more improvements in the future. So there we go. So a small little, I don't know whether it's a small little improvement. We'll just have to see how it goes once we actually load the game up. Okay, so we've now got, they've now been doing some improvements to the map, the compass, and the beacon improvements. So the compass has become quite busy with all of the icons, such as search areas, map markers, and beacons, causing a lot of clutter while playing. We are looking at various ways to reduce this clutter and possibly enable some custom user options in the future. Some of our early improvements are portable beacons have received a quality of life update. When you interact with them, you can set a distance at which they will appear on the compass. You can now name the beacons, which can be seen when you hover over the icon on the map. Oh, I like that. Mount compass icons will now only appear on the compass if you are within 50 meters, and you can hover over your mount icon on the map to see its name. And they plan on doing more improvements in the future, of course. Okay, so there we go. So that's an interesting one. So we've now got the next one, which is tier 3 water can and tier 4 portable water tank. Okay, portable water tank. Nice. Our upcoming introduction of the new null sector will provide a different experience from what people have encountered on Icarus before. You will need to prepare and plan resource usage in a truly resource scarce environment. This week, we are introducing two new bulky items that can only be carried in your utility slot or on mount in preparation. The Tier 3 water can is craftable on the machining bench and can hold 50 litres of water. The Tier 4 portable water tank is craftable on the fabricator, can hold 150 litres of water, and can be deployed and connected to a water network. So there we go. So they're actually sort of getting ready for the actual new expansion, because obviously they know things that we don't. So I've got a feeling there's going to be a lack of resources, which they've already just said that actually with water and stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to all that. The new operations is going to be fun. and deadly from what they've said anyway. So mounts and tame updates. Mounts and tames will now be affected by temperatures in different biomes, similar to the player. This means that if they get too hot or cold, they will get modifiers relevant to their current state to help manage that. The various animal feeds now provide heat and cold resistance to animals. In rare cases where mounts and tames disappear from the world, we have added some automatic logging so we can fix problem map areas. Okay, so there we go. So now mounts will actually be affected by the temperatures. So depending on the mount, depends on, like if you go into the volcanic area on Prometheus or the weather, it all depends. So yeah, so I'm not sure about that one because yeah, it's going to be one more thing to keep an eye on and sort out, as well as with food. I mean, there's a lot in this game to keep an eye on, basically. So I'm hoping the game doesn't get too bloated, because that can happen. They can get overexcited and add all this stuff, and it can get very, very bloated, and it can put people off. But we'll just see. It's still a great game though. I love playing it, and I've been playing it since it actually came out in beta weekends. New gates for railings. Okay, so we have introduced new railing gates for each railing type. This allows the construction of enclosed areas using gates that match your railings. Very good. These gates are unlocked with the base railing in each building tier trim set, so they do not require any additional blueprint points. Well, I've got about over 600 blueprint points. One blueprint point's not going to, mess me up, mess my gameplay up. So yeah, I'm sure I'd have been fine. But yeah, there you go. Especially for those new players, you don't have to use that new and another blueprint point to actually unlock the gate. Okay, new reinforced glass buildings. Okay, so the current reinforced glass crafting process requires a water network to be connected to the glassworking bench, which provides an alteration to any glass crafted. Unfortunately, this reinforced glass looks and feels exactly the same as the base glass building pieces, which can cause confusion. We've taken this on board and decided to adjust how the whole system works. As of this patch, there is a new reinforced glass building tier that is unlockable on the tech tree. The building pieces look different and have different recipes than the standard glass tier. They also have the same level of storm protection as their reinforced alteration counterparts. Yeah, but have you done the angled, the like triangle angled roof pieces? Because they let the actual storms in. Have you actually fixed that? That's my question. Because I'm reluctant to use those because people have found out that for some reason they're letting the storms in. All the other pieces are okay. It's just those slanted triangle roof pieces that are actually letting the weather in. So I'll have to test that out again and just see whether that's actually been fixed or not. Any existing glass buildings with the reinforced alteration will still exist and function as they have in the past, but can no longer be crafted. Unfortunately, the upgrade hammer will not allow upgrading to the new reinforced glass until next week. Okay, interesting. So it might be better just to wait until next week, especially if you've already got a big build and then you decide that you want to do the glass and change it to the reinforced glass. Then it might be better to wait until next week so you don't have to take it all out and then put it in. It's just easier with the upgrade hammer. Okay, so let's talk about missions and operations. So they're actually going to go through what we actually spoke about at the beginning. So one thing that has been identified for our play sessions has been that we have the opportunity to change how we approach missions through fixes, improvements, developments, and better processes. We have the opportunity to fundamentally change the kind of quality of the missions and operations in the game. So we are taking the time to redo the North Sector missions and be bold, try out new ways of making these. This means it makes sense. There's some typos here, and completely the grammar's all messed up here. Some time for us to redo these, but if we can get these right and achieve a better experience, it means we can apply that to other missions. It is a big change for us, So players should expect that our missions in future may be quite different. We also are looking at information applied to players. We want to ensure the players are better supported in most cases for what to expect for a mission. Not everything needs to be surprise twists that can end up just frustrating the player to the point of Alt plus F4. Yep, rage quitting, quite a common occurrence with games. We are also linking these changes with bold changes and new features that support new or improved ways to play. This is already somewhat obvious with this week's additions for managing the transport of water, which we read about earlier. There is a new content work for new and more exotic animals as mounts and companions, but we don't want to just rush these out either. The delay with North Sector is about using this as an opportunity to level up the product completely, rethinking how we make missions, especially those that are not on the main chain. We want you to enjoy the missions so much that you simply have to do them all, not just suffer through the side ones because you want the Ren. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense because, to be honest with you, the missions, I mean, when we first started, the missions are like, okay, yeah, you just do this, do this, do this. And I suppose in a way it was just like, why do we need to do this? Why do we need to do this? It's a lot of people are asking that questions with those missions, so it needs some kind of like story to it, and there is kind of a story to the actual one in Prometheus. So obviously they're going to improve on that and make it a lot better and make it more enjoyable, and hopefully, well, with the next missions that they're doing, which is the 5 operations that they're adding to the extension of Prometheus, they're going to be a lot more challenging. So yeah. Okay, so does that mean they're actually going to be changing the other missions as well and adjusting those? That's a big job though, actually changing those. Interesting. So, okay, so we already know that North Sector is coming soon, so I don't need to go through that. But we don't know when it's going to come now. It's completely been delayed. But next week, we've got another continued project clinic. As we continue to make changes and work on the North Sector, you can expect more improvements and quality of life improvements to the base game similar to this week. So there we go, guys. You'll have to let me know down in the comments. I was hoping to start streaming on Saturdays with the missions, but we're just going to have to wait until they come in. Although, depending on how long it takes, I might do some missions on the Styx map because there's some missions I've missed out that I could do. Although, yeah, so they should be easy enough to do. So thank you so much for joining me. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.